Hi guys. I want to explain how to use the MIDI listener and broadcasters, okay, as well as the MIDI filters, because there seems to be some confusion around using MIDI filters. So this is what we'll be doing today. All of these keys are like MIDI listeners. They'll be listening for MIDI events, and when those MIDI events play, these keys will rotate. Okay, so what's happening is I have a MIDI player that's dropped into the world. That's right here. So this MIDI player will act as my MIDI broadcaster. There's nothing fancy to it. Only need player on begin play. I just init the player, start playback, and then I jump to 120 seconds. Okay, which is the middle part of the song. So the way things work here is that you need to add a playhead that your listeners are going to listen to. Okay, so for example, in this MIDI player, I've added 2 playheads. Okay, these are custom playheads. The first one I've called it the rhythm playhead, which is 4 seconds in front. Ignore that one for now. The second one is the piano rotator playhead. You can give this any name you want, but I just decided to call it piano rotator because I'm going to use this playhead to rotate my piano keys right here. So I gave it an offset of 0.01 second, okay, which is almost instant. So going back to our MIDI listeners, which is this MIDI listener component, right? If you look at the filter section, which is right here, I went ahead and added the playhead name as part of the filter. This playhead name, if you pay attention, it matches the playhead we added here. So if I wrote piano rotators here, this would need to be piano rotators, okay? The second criteria for my filter is I only want to listen to one track, okay? I want my MIDI listener to respond to one track, which is the electric guitar, okay? Which is the elect guitar. So where do you get this text that you write over here? This text depends on the MIDI file that you're playing, okay? So if you go back to FL Studio, you'll realize that we have a track right here that's called elect guitar. So when I export the MIDI file, the MIDI asset will have this track called elect guitar. So this name, exactly as it's spelled, is the same one that we have right here. For example, if you wanted to target piano 2, we'd have to type in piano 2 right here. Okay, and then our MIDI listener will respond to both the electric guitar and the piano 2. Alternatively, you might want your MIDI listener to respond to everything. If you wanted to respond to everything, you can just clear the filter, okay? If you do this, that means the MIDI events that come through here are not filtered, which means all of these tracks that you see here will pass through this note. That's not what we want. What we want is to listen to just the electric guitar from the piano rotator playhead. Okay. So I'm just going to build up my filter right here and then explain the rest of the blueprint. So I have electric guitar here. Okay, cool. So my MIDI listener is listening to the piano rotator and it's only paying attention to the electric guitar. So back in FL Studio, this is how if I were to solo out the elect guitar, this is how it sounds. So I just want my keys right here to rotate only when that part is playing. And the MIDI player, I'm using an actual piano VST to play this. That's where the difference in sound comes from. I'm not using the guitar one. I'm just using the basic piano VST. Okay. So let me look in the event graph. I want to see if there's anything I've left out that you need to see. No. The only thing that happens when our MIDI note comes in from the electric guitar, we identify the pitch name, which is your C5, your D5, whatever. And then we call this function from the static piano keys. Okay, we have a static piano keys component here, which is responsible for drawing up these keys, spawning these keys, okay? So we are asking this component for the key that matches this pitch name, okay? Let's say we are looking for C5. We just ask this component which static mesh matches C5, okay? So let's say we are looking for this key because the mid node that came in was a C5. So obviously we want to grab this key, okay? I'm sorry, here's the C5. We want to grab this key, okay? A C5. Once we got our key, we want to rotate it, okay? So there's this function, set rotation animated, that will rotate your key by 5 degrees. It will take 0.04 seconds to go from the rest position to the target rotation, okay? So the rest is just setting the colors. So I don't think for now I want to explain that, but just know that the rest of the code is setting the colors that you see when So you see the workflow is we have a broadcaster, okay, which is my MIDI player in this case. You can either use a MIDI player or a MIDI broadcaster, they'll both work. But I'm using the MIDI player so that I can get both the MIDI events and the sound coming from my broadcast, okay? So this guy here, he's listening, and whenever he gets the message from here, the MIDI event from our MIDI player, you will find the key that matches that pitch name and then proceed to rotate it, okay? That's all there is to it. There's not much more to explain, except I also have to explain this rhythm section one, okay? This rhythm section one has a rhythm section where it will spawn keys that are falling down. If you open this rhythm section one and look at the piano keys rotator listener, this listener here, it's a MIDI listener, as you can see. This one will be responsible for rotating the keys, but we also need another listener that's going to spawn the keys that will be falling down, and that listener needs to be 4 seconds in front of the audio that's playing, okay? That's why when we go back to our MIDI player, we add a rhythm playhead right here, that's 4 seconds in front of him. So we have another rhythm section component right here. This rhythm section is a MIDI listener component. It inherits from the MIDI listener component, so that makes it a MIDI listener too. That means it also has a filter right here. Okay. So the way that I'm building the filter for this rhythm section is I'm not filling up this, I'm leaving it clear. But in my construction graph, I take my rhythm section right here, and then I set my filter, okay? I call the set Midi filter right here. And then you can do the same thing that you would be doing in the details panel, but you can do it at runtime. So as you can see, I'm listening to the rhythm playhead. So if I were to do this on the details panel, this is what I would type right here. And then the MIDI tracks to listen to, it's just the same thing as adding an array of tracks right here. But instead, I just want to do that at one time. So I have this array of tracks that I want to listen to that I'm adding right here. By default, I'm listening to the electric guitar 2 on this rhythm section, okay? And if I wanted to add more, I would just do this either at runtime or right here in the details panel. But basically, I just wanted to explain that these lines, they are listening to the same MIDI track as these keys, okay? So when we play this, I'm expecting this to spawn keys that will slide down towards the keys, towards the physical piano keys right here. Okay, I think that covers it. If you have any more questions, just let me know and I'll try my best to explain it. Let me try and go through the event graph real quick. I think for explaining this event graph, because it's a different topic, I'll be essentially explaining that rhythm section again. I'll do that in another video. But for now, this is how you use these example blueprints that come on the plugin. Just go through them and I think you should be able to figure it out. But if you can't, just let me know. Thanks.